My name is Anita Bernice Mullikin. I was born on August the 2nd, 1937 in Wilmington, Delaware. We lived in a little town called Newcastle. It was a very old-fashioned colonial town, very small. When you're born in that area, the town is so old and colonial, it's something that's born in your blood. I just love the colonial period in history.
One, two, three, four. I'm from Delaware, man, I'm from Delaware. Traffic's bad out there, man, I ain't going nowhere. I like polluted air, man, I'm from Delaware. I've been to Milford, Wilmington, Dover, Harrington, Newark, Glasgow, Seaford, Long Neck, Claymont, Georgetown, Marydale, Middletown, Lewisport, Penn, Smyrna, Townsend, Ellesmere, Little Creek, Laurel, Dewey Beach, Fenwick, Stanton, Frederica, Felton. I'm from Delaware, man, I'm from Delaware. They're building everywhere, man, I can't drive nowhere. I got a townhouse out in Bear, man, I'm from Delaware. I've been to Selbyville, Bridgeville, Millville, Greenville, Fairfax, Bethany, Delaware City, Rehoboth, Frankfort, Nassau, Cheswold, Hocassin, Hartley, Arden, Holyoke, Lipsick, McWardell, Woodside, York, Daxboro, Delmore, Price's Corner. I'm from Delaware, man, I'm from Delaware. Traffic's bad out there, man, construction everywhere. I got drunk in Trolley Square, man, I'm from Delaware. I like Blue Hens, Blue Rocks, NASCAR, Dover Downs, Crab Cake, Fright Land, Smoke-Free, Ruth Ann, Apple, Scrapple, Pumpkin, Chunkin, First Date, Diamond State, Black and White, License Plate, DuPont Family, Shopping is tax-free, Route 195, hope I get home alive. I'm from Delaware, man, I'm from Delaware. Traffic's bad out there, man, I can't drive nowhere. Harrington State Fair, man, I'm from Delaware.
Delaware is sometimes known as the Diamond State. It is also called the First State because it was the first state to ratify the new Constitution of the United States of America on December 7th, 1787. The first permanent colony to be established in Delaware was New Sweden, founded in 1638 by Scandinavian settlers, who brought with them the plans for the first log cabins built in the New World. Today, Delaware is the second smallest state in the United States, about twice the size of Samoa.
I grew up with that feeling of the colonial times and that period. And as a little girl, I was able to go around, and they let us into all the historical homes when you were just a child. So you go around to the different homes, and they'd let you come in and walk around. And on my shirt, you can see that I was born in Newcastle, Delaware. We have what we call the school green, which was the center of town with the courthouse. And we only have one main street. And on that street, we had a grocery store and a bakery and a pharmacy and a beer garden and just little small shops. There was no street lights. It was just one side of the street had the businesses on it. So I was raised in a very, very small, little tiny community. In 1948, my dad was very, very sick with what they call bronchiectasis. and he coughed and coughed, and he literally would cough so hard he would pass out. And, geez, I'm thinking about it. I think he was only in his late 30s, early 40s at the time. And the doctors told him he had to move to a dry climate. So we sold the house, and Mom and Dad and 4 kids got into a car with all our worldly belongings in the trunk of that car. And we left Delaware, and we headed for El Paso, Texas. But my dad made it an extremely exciting vacation trip, really. And we went through Washington, D.C., and then we headed up north and traveled along Route 66 across the country. And we would stop at any little county fair or thing like that. If they had something going on in the town, we'd stop and visit that town. And we just had a great time. It took us like 2 weeks. And we got to El Paso, Texas. And the 4 of us, the 4 kids, absolutely hated it driving into town. Just driving into El Paso, we were all like, oh, we don't like it. We hate it here. But Mom and Dad got a motel, and we stayed in a motel for a couple of weeks. And my dad went out looking for work. And we all prayed to God, please don't let him find work. So once he realized we really did hate it there, he said, well, I know Aunt Nita and Uncle Bill Fisher. Uncle Bill had a brother that went to college out here in Tempe, Arizona. And so my dad said, well, why don't we try going to Tempe and see what that's like? So the minute we drove into Phoenix, we all were saying, we love it here, we love it here, we love it here. So then we lived on the west side of Phoenix in a motel, and my dad finally got a job over in Mesa. And I believe it was for an appliance store where they sold Maytag appliances. And so we moved over to Mesa.